I got a pattern here. It's called the Mama Ape. It's a pattern designed by Larry Kingrey. He passed away in 2017, so this pattern I think is a offshoot of a stimulator, but it's using foam for the body, and not just any foam. It's a unique foam that is colored, layered in 3 layers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. This is a Firehole Sticks 7/18 hook in a size 12. So I'm going to start, throw a layer of thread onto the hook shank and get that started, and just layer it up. And then I'm going to go with elk hair. I'm going to go with natural color. Larry liked to use the bleached on this one. And I'm going to grab a little bit for the tail, just a bunch for the back end of the tail. You don't need a lot of this, but we're going to lay that back there, and we're going to come and put a couple soft wraps on it just to get it laid down. And then as I move towards the eye, I'm going to add more. What I like to do is pick this up, come all the way up, lay that down, and then I'm going to work back and tie that down and compress that hair. So just like that. Gather all of this, get it out of there. There's the beginning of our body. Now this is where it changes up a little bit by using laminated foam. Okay, this is 1mm sheets laid on top of each other, and in this case red, yellow, red, which gives it a really nice look to finish up. There's a couple tricks in here that he does. So I'm going to tie this in. I'm going to bevel that a little bit and tie it in right here, and that way when we start wrapping that, you'll see the way it lays down. Now the next thing we do is we got a brown hackle, and this is undersized for the hook. I'm going to tie this in with a little bit of space back there, so that first wrap of foam goes behind the hackle, and I'll show you how that looks. So I'm going to stretch just a little bit and then start working my way up. So I got one wrap there, and then I'm going to start moving up, overlapping just a little bit so that yellow shows up. So you can see how that segmentation takes place. Once we get up here, I'm going to go ahead and tie that off and cut it, and then just get that down just a little bit. So now the next thing is these wraps will be on the red portion of the hook. So I'm going to twist this, put a wrap there, and then start wrapping up. So most of my yellow shows up, and my hackle is going to be laying down on the red portion of the foam. So there's your, there's your body there, just like so. Cut these out. And now we're going to go with our hair. So just like a regular stimulator. Again, going back to elk hair, I like the cow elk. So I got that already in my hair stacker. So we're going to get that out, lay that on top. And I prefer my wings to be a little longer. He preferred his half the length of the tail, so I'm going to push mine back just a little bit more. So get a couple wraps in there, pull down, and lock that in. So a few more wraps there, and then start moving forward. Back that up, and then take those and gather and tie those down. So once we do that, we can cut all this out and taper that front end. and just clean that up just a little bit. We'll use our thread to build that ramp down and make sure we got all that taken care of. So I'm going to come in here, lay that down, and then push back somewhat with softer wraps back there. But I'm going to build this ramp up just a little bit with thread. Come back. We're going to tie in a grizzly hackle next. There we go. Come back in with a grizzly hackle, and that's going to be not undersized, but it'll be a little bit bigger than the brown hackle you tied in. And then the next item is a Midge Cactus Chenille. This is a little bit different than maybe you've seen or tied with your stimulators. Just a peacock color. And I'm tying that in, and then I'm leaving my thread there. That way it helps from that material sliding down the hill. So I'm coming here and just putting a layer on that. Back up. It's a little slippery on that slope right there just because of the angle. But once you're there, hold it. And then once you're up here, you can wrap and tie that material off. Leave a little space. This hill is just a little slippery for me right here. I'm going to come and tie this off right here. So I have a little bit of that orange showing up underneath. That's okay. Come back in, wrap my hackle shiny side facing forward. Now this hackle wants to twist on me, so I'm going to work with it to try not to get it twisting. I'm just untwisting, if that makes sense, to keep it on track. So once I get up here, I'm going to wrap a few wraps forward to tack that down, get it out of the way, and then we're just going to whip finish that thing. So clean it out, clear it up. A little bit of space there, and then come through, and we're going to go ahead and whip finish that off. So this, with that foam, fishes fast water like the Arkansas River has. It's a great imitation for a stonefly, just an attractor in general, but it also works as a good dry dropper system, dropping any little nymph off the back end. So basically it is a stimulator, but it's just tied in a different format with the foam. So you can see it's got that red body, but then it's also got that yellow coloration mixed in there, and just a little something different to change things up. Now the foam you can make yourself. They used to sell it, I'm not sure if they still do, but you can stack the red, the yellow, and the red, or any other color you want. Glue it, stack it, and then cut it. So cutting might be a little bit of the issue, but you can certainly do it. And you can make the bodies in whatever color combinations you like. That's the nice thing about this, is change the color to brown, or tan, brown, and tan, or brown, tan, brown. That works really good too. So lots of variations you can do. This is again size 12 on a 7/18 hook. This is called the Mama Ape. There's also a bigger version of this called the Papa Ape, and the smaller version size called the Baby Ape. If you go on to look up those patterns, there's a couple videos of Larry actually tying this online. He's tying the Papa Ape and he's tying the Mama Ape. So there are two videos out there, so I suggest you take a look at those to see how it's originally done. But again, this is the Mama Ape in size 12.